Success isn't failing upward. That's the greatest scam of modern motivation. The fail fast, fail often mentality has created a playground of perpetual mediocrity where people collect failures like badges of honor without ever doing the brutal work of learning from them. We've romanticized struggle while avoiding its lessons, celebrated resilience while dodging its demands, preached persistence while seeking shortcuts. But hard times don't create strong people by simply existing. They create strong people by being confronted, consumed, and conquered with a level of intensity that most people aren't willing to endure. The room falls silent. A lone glass shatters somewhere in the distance. That sound you just heard, that's the sound of your comfort zone breaking. And it's the most beautiful sound in the world. Every person who changed the world started with a broken comfort zone. Every breakthrough began with breakdown. Every success story started with failure, and yours begins right here, right now. You're sitting here today because something inside you knows there's more to achieve, more to become, more to give. That voice inside you, it's not wrong. It's the only thing that's absolutely right. Let me tell you about someone I met. A janitor at a local hospital. Every night while others slept, he would clean the corridors of the intensive care unit. But he didn't just clean, he polished those floors until they gleamed like mirrors. When asked why he put in such effort, when no one would notice at 3 a.m., he said something I'll never forget. Because someone's loved one will walk these halls tomorrow, worried sick about their family member. If these floors shine, maybe, just maybe, it'll give them a moment of peace. Knowing their loved one is in a place where even the smallest details matter. That's not just a janitor. That's greatness in action. That's understanding that hard times don't just create strong people. They reveal them. You see, we've got it all backward. We pray for easier lives, lighter burdens, smoother paths, but that's not how diamonds are made. That's not how steel is forged. That's not how champions are created. Think about the last time you faced a challenge that seemed impossible. Remember that knot in your stomach? That voice in your head saying, I can't do this. Now think about what happened when you pushed through anyway. You're here, aren't you? You survived. You grew. You became stronger. But let's talk about what's really holding you back. It's not the economy. It's not your background. It's not your circumstances. It's the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't succeed. Right now, someone with less talent, fewer resources, and more obstacles than you is succeeding simply because they refuse to accept excuses. They refuse to let their circumstances define their future. They refuse to let hard times break them. Instead, they let those hard times make them. You know what's interesting about pressure? In nature, it either crushes or creates diamonds. The same pressure that pulverizes coal into dust can transform it into something precious. The difference isn't in the pressure, it's in what's being pressured. And you, my friend, are no lump of coal destined for dust. But here's what most people don't understand about transformation. It's not about changing who you are. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly by trying to fly. It becomes a butterfly by going into the darkness of its cocoon and doing the work of transformation. Your cocoon might look like late nights studying while others sleep. It might look like early mornings at the gym while others hit the snooze button. It might look like saving money while others spend carelessly. It might look like building something while others are consuming mindlessly. What would happen if you treated your dreams with the same urgency as your fears? Think about that for a moment. When you're afraid, you act immediately. You don't procrastinate on fear. You don't put fear on a to-do list for later. Fear gets your immediate attention, your immediate action, your immediate commitment. Now, what if you gave your dreams that same level of urgency? What if you pursued your goals with the same intensity that you run from your fears? The truth is, most people live in the comfortable middle ground between their fears and their dreams. They're not scared enough to run backward, but they're not inspired enough to run forward. They exist in this lukewarm space of mediocrity, telling themselves someday, while watching their dreams fade like old photographs. But you're not most people. You're not here for a comfortable existence. You're here because something inside you is screaming for more. That's screaming. That's your potential banging on the walls of your comfort zone, demanding to be let out. You see, comfort is the enemy of achievement. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing your present over your future. Every time you choose the easy path over the right path, you're voting for mediocrity. Think about water for a moment. When water stays stagnant, it becomes toxic. But when it moves, when it flows, when it crashes against rocks and falls from heights, it becomes pure, it becomes powerful, it becomes unstoppable. You are like that water. When you stay in your comfort zone, you stagnate. Your dreams become toxic thoughts of what if and if only. But when you move, when you push against resistance, when you fall and get back up, you become unstoppable. The world tries to convince us that hard times are something to be avoided. That struggle is something to be feared. That difficulty is something to run from. But that's like trying to build muscles without lifting weights. It's like trying to get an education without studying. It's like trying to build a business without taking risks. It's impossible. Every significant achievement in human history came from someone willing to embrace hard times. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every revolution started with someone saying, this is difficult, and that's exactly why I must do it. Look at your hands for a moment. Really look at them. These same hands that might be trembling with fear right now are the same hands that have the power to build something extraordinary. These same hands that might be clenched in frustration are the same hands that can reach out and grab opportunity. But here's what you need to understand about opportunity. It doesn't just knock, it presents itself disguised as hard work, disguised as problems, disguised as challenges, while others are waiting for opportunity to arrive in a golden envelope. Successful people are out there creating it with their bare hands. Whether you face hard times, you will. The question is, what will those hard times make of you? Will they break you, or will they reveal the unbreakable within you? Will they destroy your dreams, or will they destroy the limitations you've placed on those dreams? Remember the janitor I mentioned? He didn't just clean floors. He created moments of peace in others' darkest hours. He understood something profound. Greatness isn't about what you do. It's about how you do it. It's about the spirit you bring to the mundane. It's about the excellence you demand from yourself when no one else is watching. That's what hard times do to strong people. They strip away the unnecessary until all that's left is what's essential. They burn away the excuses until all that's left is action. They demolish the walls of I can't until all that's left is I must. You know what fascinates me about human nature? Our ability to adapt. Put someone in hot weather, their body adjusts. Put them in cold weather, same thing. Put them under pressure, real pressure, and something remarkable happens. They either crack or they crystallize into something extraordinary. Right now in this room, both types of people are sitting here, and the only difference between them isn't talent. It isn't luck, it isn't circumstances, it's decision, the decision to see hard times as a cursor, as a catalyst. Let me tell you about a small restaurant, the kind of place you'd walk right past without noticing. During the worst economic downturn, while other businesses were closing their doors, this tiny establishment didn't just survive, it thrived. Their secret? When everyone else was cutting portions and quality to save money, they did the opposite. They made their portions bigger, they upgraded their ingredients, they extended their hours. When times are hard, people don't just come here for food. They come here for hope. Every generous portion we serve is us saying, things will get better. Every extra a minute we stay open is us saying, we're here for you. Every smile we give is us saying, we're in this together. That restaurant didn't just serve meals, it served belief. While others saw scarcity, they chose to see opportunity. While others retreated, they advanced. While others focused on survival, they focused on service. This is what strong people do in hard times. They don't just endure, they elevate. They don't just survive, they serve. They don't just get through, they grow through. But let's talk about growth for a moment. Real growth, the kind that changes you at your core. It's not comfortable. It's not pretty. It's not something you can package in a motivational quote or capture in a social media post. Real growth happens in the moments when you want to quit, but don't. It happens in the moments when you've been knocked down for the 10th time and you stand up for the 11th. It happens in the moments when everyone else has gone home, but you're still there working, learning, pushing, believing. Think about the last time you really pushed yourself beyond your limits. Remember that moment when your mind said stop, but something deeper inside you said keep going? That voice, that's not just determination. That's destiny calling. You see, destiny isn't some predetermined path. It's not some cosmic plan written in the stars. Destiny is what happens when preparation meets opportunity meets courage. And courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is fear that's done its push-ups. Every single person in this room has a story of courage. Every single person here has faced something that could have broken them, but didn't. Every single person here has survived 100 or worse days. Think about that. You have a perfect record in surviving hard times. But survival isn't enough anymore, is it? You're not here to just get by. You're not here to just exist. You're here because something inside you knows you were meant for more. That knowing, that's your potential. trying to become your reality. That discomfort you feel when you think about where you are versus where you could be, that's not anxiety. That's ambition. That's not fear. That's fuel. What would you attempt to do if you knew you couldn't fail? Really think about that. Now, let me ask you something even more important. What would you attempt to do even if you knew you might fail, but you believed the attempt itself would make you stronger? Because here's the truth about failure that nobody talks about. Failure isn't just a possibility. When you're pushing for greatness, it's a necessity. Every significant breakthrough in human history came after a string of failures. Every overnight success story has years of failures behind it. But we've been taught to avoid failure at all costs. We've been conditioned to see failure as the opposite of success, when in reality, failure is a component of success. It's like trying to build a house and being afraid of making noise. The noise isn't the problem. It's part of the process. Your failures, your setbacks, your hard times, they're not your enemy. They're your education. They're not obstacles in your path. They are the path. Think about a time when you failed at something important to you. Remember the pain, the embarrassment, the self-doubt? Now think about who you became because of that experience. Think about the strength you discovered. Think about the wisdom you gained. Think about the resilience you developed. You see, hard times don't just test you. They teach you. They show you who you really are. And more importantly, who you can become. They strip away the non-essential and leave you with what truly matters. In nature, the strongest trees are not found in the comfort of the valley. They're found on the windswept heights, where every day is a battle against the elements. Their struggle against the wind doesn't weaken them. It strengthens them. The resistance they face doesn't destroy them. It shapes them. You are no different. The resistance you face, the challenges you encounter, the hard times you endure, they're not punishments. They're opportunities to grow stronger, to become wiser, to develop capabilities you never knew you had. But here's the catch. You have to choose to see them this way. You have to choose to embrace the struggle. You have to choose to see hard times not as something happening to you, but as something happening for you. Think about any skill you've mastered in your life. Maybe it's playing an instrument, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's your profession. Did mastery come from comfort? Did it come from doing what was easy? No. It came from pushing through the difficult parts. It came from practicing when you didn't feel like it. It came from failing and trying again and failing better and trying again. That's what strong people do in hard times. They don't just go through them, they grow through them. They don't just face them. They embrace them. They don't just survive them. They thrive because of them. Remember the restaurant owner I mentioned. They didn't just weather the storm. They learned to dance in the rain. They didn't just adapt to hard times. They used hard times to adapt themselves into something better. This is the secret that every successful person throughout history has. Knowing hard times are not your enemy. Comfort is. Complacency is. The belief that you've reached your limit is. The idea that you should settle for less than what you're capable of becoming, that's your real enemy. Look at your life right now. Really look at it. The challenges you're facing, the obstacles in your path, the mountains you need to climb, they're not there to stop you. They're there to show you how strong you can become. There's a story about a young apprentice who complained to a master craftsman about how hard the work was. The master picked up a piece of raw metal and said, "You see this. It complains about the fire that shapes it. It complains about the hammer that strikes it. It complains about the file that polishes it. But without these, it would remain a useless piece of metal forever. The very things it complains about are what give it value." You are that metal. The fire of adversity, the hammer of challenges, the file of daily struggles, they're all working together to transform you to something extraordinary. But here's what separates the strong from the weak. The weak ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The strong ask, "What is this teaching me?" Every hardship you face carries a lesson within it. Every setback contains a setup for a comeback. Every moment of adversity holds the seed of an equal or greater advantage, but you have to be willing to look for it. You have to be willing to dig for it. You have to be willing to believe in it, even when you can't see it. Think about water again. When it meets an obstacle, it doesn't stop. It doesn't complain. It doesn't make excuses. It finds a way around or over or under or through. And in the process of finding its way, it shapes the very landscape it travels through. You have that same power within you, the power to shape your circumstances rather than be shaped by them, the power to turn obstacles into opportunities, the power to use resistance as a tool for growth rather than an excuse for giving up. But let's be honest, this isn't easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. If it were easy, excellence wouldn't be rare. If it were easy, success wouldn't be valuable. The hard truth is that most people will choose comfort over growth. Most people will choose the easy path over the right path. Most people will choose to remain the same rather than endure the discomfort of becoming better. But you're not most people. You're not here because you want an easy life. You're here because you want a meaningful life. You're not here because you want comfort. You're here because you want growth. You're not here because you want to avoid hard times. You're here because you want to become the kind of person who thrives in hard times. Think about the greatest achievements in your life so far. Were they easy? Did they come without struggle, without sacrifice, without moments of doubt and fear? Of course not. They came because you pushed through those moments. They came because you refused to let hard times define your limits. Now think about your future achievements, the ones you haven't reached yet, the ones that exist right now only in your dreams. They're waiting for you on the other side of hard times. They're waiting for you on the other side of struggle. They're waiting for you on the other side of this current challenge you're facing. But here's what you need to understand. The size of your success will be determined by the size of your struggle. The height of your achievements will be determined by the depth of your convictions. The strength of your impact will be determined by the strength of your character. And character isn't created in comfort. Character isn't forged in easy times. Character is what emerges when you stay true to your purpose, even when every fiber of your being is screaming for you to quit. Let me tell you about a community I visited after a natural disaster. Everything was destroyed, homes, businesses, schools, but what I saw wasn't defeat. What I saw was strength in its purest form. Neighbors helping neighbors. Strangers becoming family. People who had lost everything material discovering they had everything essential. One elderly woman was organizing relief efforts from what remained of her porch. When asked why she didn't take time to deal with her own loss first, she said, "Hard times don't build character, they reveal it." And right now it's revealing who we really are as a community. That's wisdom. That's strength. That's understanding that hard times don't just create strong people. They reveal the strength that was always there. You have that same strength within you. It's there waiting to be revealed, waiting to be tested, waiting to be proven. But here's what you need to know about strengths. It's not about never falling down. It's about how many times you're willing to get back up. It's not about never feeling fear. It's about what you do despite that fear. It's not about never facing failure. It's about what you learn from each failure. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice to make. You can choose to see hard times as your enemy, or you can choose to see them as your teacher. You can choose to be broken by them, or you can choose to be built by them. You can choose to let them defeat you, or you can choose to let them develop you. The choice is yours. It always has been. But remember this, every strong person you admire was once where you are now. Every success story you've heard started with this same choice. Every breakthrough began with this same decision. The decision to embrace hard times rather than avoid them. The decision to face challenges rather than fear them. The decision to use adversity as a stepping stone rather than see it as a stumbling block. You are not here by accident. You are not facing these challenges by coincidence. You are here because something inside you knows you're capable of more. Something inside you knows you're meant for more. That something, that's your potential calling out to be realized. That's your future self reaching back through time, telling you that the hard times you're facing today are creating the strength you'll need tomorrow. So embrace them, learn from them, grow through them. Let them reveal the strength that's always been within you. Let them forge the character that will define your legacy. Let them create the story that others will tell when they need inspiration. Because in the end, hard times don't just create strong people. Hard times create great people. Hard times create leaders. Hard times create champions. Hard times create legacies. And your legacy, it begins right here, right now, with the choice you make in this moment. Choose wisely. Choose boldly. Choose to be strong. Because the world needs what only you can become through these hard times. The world needs the strength that only you can develop through these challenges. The world needs the wisdom that only you can gain through these struggles. Your time is now, your moment is here. Your transformation awaits. Rise up, step forward, embrace the hard times, and become who you were always meant to be. There's something extraordinary that happens when we stop running from our challenges and start running toward them. Something remarkable shifts in our minds, in our hearts, in our very souls. Think about a diamond for a moment, not just its beauty, but its journey. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, under extreme pressure and heat, a simple piece of carbon transforms into one of the hardest substances known to mankind. The pressure doesn't destroy it. The pressure creates it. You're in that pressure cooker right now. Every doubt, every fear, every obstacle you're facing, they're not destroying you. They're creating something magnificent within you. Let me share something with you about strength that might surprise you. True strength isn't about being tough all the time. It's not about never showing weakness. It's about being vulnerable enough to grow, humble enough to learn, courageous enough to keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. There was a small business owner who lost everything in an economic downturn. Every penny of savings gone. Every business contact disappeared. Every certainty about the future shattered. But instead of giving up, this person did something remarkable. They started teaching others how to avoid the mistakes they had made. They turned their biggest failure into their greatest gift to others. That's what true strength looks like. It's not just about surviving your hard times. It's about using them to help others survive theirs. It's about turning your wounds into wisdom, your tests into testimony, your mess into a message. You see, we often think strength is about how much we can carry on our own. But real strength is about how many others we can lift up while we're carrying our own burden. Think about the times in your life when you felt strongest. Was it when everything was easy? Or was it when you were helping someone else through their struggles, even while dealing with your own? Was it when you were comfortable? Or was it when you were stretched beyond what you thought possible? The truth is, comfort is overrated. Comfort doesn't inspire. Comfort doesn't innovate. Comfort doesn't create change. Comfort is where dreams go to die, wrapped in the soft blanket of good enough. But you're not here for good enough, are you? You're not here to be comfortable. You're here to be extraordinary. You're here to be unstoppable. You're here to be unforgettable. And here's what being unforgettable requires you to embrace the uncomfortable. It requires you to seek out challenges. It requires you to run toward the very things that others run away from. Think about any great achievement in history. Was it accomplished by someone seeking comfort? Was it achieved by someone playing it safe? Was it realized by someone avoiding challenges? No. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every revolution started with someone willing to be uncomfortable, someone willing to face uncertainty, someone willing to embrace hard times as the price of greatness. But let's talk about what greatness really means. It's not about fame, it's not about fortune, it's not about recognition. Greatness is about impact. It's about contribution. It's about leaving every situation, every person, every place better than you found it. Remember the business owner who lost everything? Their greatest achievement wasn't rebuilding their own success. Their greatest achievement was helping others avoid the same pitfalls. Their greatest strength wasn't in surviving their hard times. It was in using those hard times to light the way for others. That's what strong people do. They don't just overcome obstacles. They become bridges for others to cross over them. They don't just solve problems. They become solutions for others facing similar challenges. They don't just survive hard times. They become living proof that others can survive them too. But here's what you need to understand about this kind of strengths. It's not something you're born with. It's not something you inherit. It's not something you stumble upon. It's something you develop. It's something you choose. It's something you build decision by decision, day by day, challenge by challenge. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're building strength. Every time you choose service over self-interest, you're building strength. Every time you choose to face your fears instead of running from them, you're building strength. Think about the last time you wanted to quit but didn't. Think about the last time you wanted to give up but kept going. Think about the last time you wanted to take the easy way out but chose the right way instead. In those moments, you weren't just enduring, you were evolving. You weren't just surviving, you were strengthening. But strength isn't just about what you do. It's about why you do it. It's about the purpose that drives you, the vision that guides you, the values that ground you. Strong people aren't just strong for themselves. They're strong for a purpose bigger than themselves. They're strong because others need them to be strong. They're strong because their strength creates ripples that touch lives they may never meet. Think about a time when someone else's strength inspired you. Maybe it was their resilience in face of adversity. Maybe it was their courage in face of fear. Maybe it was their persistence in face of obstacles. Their strength didn't just serve them. It served you. It showed you what was possible. It gave you hope. It gave you courage. That's the kind of strength you're building right now. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome, every fear you confront, you're not just building strength for yourself. You're building strength that will inspire others. You're creating a legacy that will outlive you. But legacy isn't something that happens after you're gone. Legacy is something you create every day with every choice, with every action. Your legacy isn't just what you leave behind. It's what you live right now. In this room right now, someone needs your strength. Someone needs your courage. Someone needs your resilience. Someone needs to see you overcome your challenges so they can believe they can overcome theirs. That's why your strength matters. That's why your growth matters. That's why your journey through hard times matters. Because you're not just creating a stronger version of yourself. You're creating hope for others. You're creating possibility for others. You're creating a path for others to follow.